Welcome from the FOX61 Archives, where we are taking a look at the stories we'll always remember by seeing what we covered that day. I'm Matt Scott. It's been 10 years since Hurricane Sandy set its sights on the Northeast. Let's open up the archives and take a look at the coverage.
We're on Long Wharf Drive in New Haven, where the wind gusts are very strong right now. You can feel them almost pushing us over at this point. The water level is also increasing right now significantly. The water's splashing up over the seawall right here. Police have actually closed down some of the roads. You can see the sign there sort of bowing in the wind. They're making sure people are not driving through here right now, going through with their megaphones and getting people off the road at this time right now. But the question becomes, as time goes on, as this water splashes up over, how high is this going to rise, and whether this main street here, Long Wharf Drive, could start to flood. And that's what police are watching out for, getting everybody off the road and telling them you cannot be out here right now. For now, reporting in New Haven, Bo Berman, Fox, Connecticut.
A symphony of shovels echo throughout Melba Ave as the challenge turns from floodwater to sand.
Well, all morning long, all we've been doing is trying to make it accessible to get in and out and start doing work on the inside. So a ton of sand.
Leaf Trigger has been through this before, but this year's cleanup is expected to take a little longer, and this year's renovation project more extensive.
I got hit harder this year. Last year, I was able to open up the door and walk in and everything was fine. This year, I lost the whole first floor.
As the town works on cleaning up the mess on the street outside, work is being done inside Jim Secondi's home. We first met Secondi following Irene, when his home was deemed a total loss.
So we're unable to go in it unless to collect valuables or do work to it.
After more than a year of construction, he anticipated dealing with different hassles this evening.
Today was moving day from Irene 14 months ago. Instead, it's cleanup day again.
While he says Sandy was a more devastating storm, the damage is minimal compared to last year.
Luckily, the house was built to the new codes and it withstood it. We're amazed. We're shocked.
Despite the hard work they know will lie ahead, attitudes remain positive. You sick of these storms?
Yeah, I am. We just got the house all done. You know what I'm saying? It was looking good. Well, so now it's back to square one, but we'll be back for the summer, no problem.
Well, Halloween was the date, now Thanksgiving. So the turkey will be roasting in the oven for Thanksgiving.
I assume it's going to taste that much better.
Absolutely delicious. Perfect.
As the sun rose this morning, this is what folks in Bridgeport were waking up to. Seaside Park looking more like part of the sea. And the waters are still in neighborhoods today, and that means people have a lot of cleaning up to do. Some people needed 4 wheels, or at least a pair of rubber boots to survey the damage outside today.
As soon as the water and everything started coming in, it got pretty scary right away.
Others had to evaluate the damage done inside their homes.
We tried to set it up to stop the water from really rushing in with the bags and all that stuff. I think that helped big time.
I was lucky. The water, I got like 4 inches, but my neighbor got all messed up.
Nearby, the sound still crashing into the seawall, put Hurricane Sandy one day later into perspective.
Anybody be scared to see it, like the water rushing in like it was doing last night.
As this neighborhood tries to salvage what it can,
I'm here right now to try to see what's going on and obviously to help with the cleanup.
Folks find themselves surrounded. Water on one side and debris on the other. But the task now turns from rescue to recovery, starting with roadways. Just this morning, the city received close to 100 calls for tree limbs down and other debris.
We're requesting that citizens stay out of those areas, that they mind the barriers that have been set up, and they give our crews an opportunity to clear the roads.
Meanwhile, United Illuminating has the job of restoring power to close to 200,000 customers. It isn't just the trees causing the problems. Floodwaters forced 3 substations to shut down through morning. A check today means they're running again.
Now, it doesn't mean everybody's going to automatically get their power back on, because the distribution system has had extensive damage. and we have to go out and fix all the damage.
Despite there still being thousands of power outages, UI says this could have been much worse. The floodwaters came within just feet of that control room of this substation, and if that would have happened, you would have been without power for weeks instead of just days. In Bridgeport, Jane Carabeo, Fox, Connecticut.
Here we are, it's the day after Sandy's landfall, and we're still seeing remnants of the storm. The surf churning up pretty good right now. The wind still a factor here in Branford. Take a look at this tree, nearly missed this house. We're seeing a lot of downed trees and downed power lines along this stretch of road. And look at these Jersey barriers. The wind just moved them aside like Lego blocks. Also, a lot of road damage here. You can see where the pavement buckled, and that's surf. Just unbelievable. Folks coming down to take pictures, walking around their neighborhoods to assess the damage. Here's what one woman told us. She had been running a generator all through the night to try to save her home, had pumps running. Here's what she told us about what she saw and experienced.
Right now I see a lot of destruction and Mother Nature at work. She's very powerful.
Now, some of these segments of seawall were newly installed last year, and one of the big concerns here was that the ocean might pass over those walls and interfere with the gas line that serves this neighborhood. That did not happen, so that's good news here in Branford. But as you saw in the video, quite a lot of destruction in the wake of Sandy. Reporting in Branford, I'm Mike Magnoli, Fox, Connecticut.
When the water was 3 to 5 feet deep on Reef Road in Fairfield, there was no surprise after Sandy's flooding drained that this is what it would look like inside the Sea Grape Cafe.
I mean, this is a bomb went off in here.
The bar's owner summed up the aftermath in 5 words.
This is a complete disaster.
And he's already contacted FEMA.
Almost 900 businesses have registered and are working with the SBA on getting assistance.
The SBA is the United States Small Business Administration. Representatives have been offering low-interest loans at FEMA disaster relief centers.
And they can make your repairs and pay us back when the insurance settles. So this way they can go ahead and get their life back in order.
Most storm-ravaged homeowners qualify for a fixed interest rate of 1.688%, while businesses are looking at 4% and nonprofits 3%.
If they don't qualify, then we would refer them back to FEMA for a grant, and a grant they wouldn't have to repay.
Some businesses just can't get a break.
One of those businesses was flooded last year as well, so they're really in trouble.
The business the governor was referring to today is Pop's Grocery in Bridgeport.
Here's the water. This is 4.5 feet, 4 feet. The lures are on top here, floating.
Tony and Joanne Malinowski will have to count on FEMA and the SBA to save their store once again.
You know, this is two years in a row. It's a lot to take, you know.
We're trying to get back on our feet again, and we're going to need more assistance from the small business people. We really are this time.
This house behind me survived Tropical Storm Irene, but Sandy's surge won this round. All kinds of debris washed up on shore during the storm, including this lobster pot. So now it's time for cleanup. Sandy has left town, but she refused to take all of her ugliness with her. Walker Avenue was evacuated yesterday, but at the end of the road, several homes still haven't begun to dry out. The Beamans had to clean out the garage, but their year-round home luckily remained high and dry. Before you came home today, you're fearing the worst?
Absolutely, but we're glad that it's only what it is.
One chore
Trying to get this mud out of here
at a time. Indiantown Beach is cleaning up.
Water went all the way up the street, literally, about 10 houses up.
Sea Lane already had dumpsters delivered for debris. I just plucked out this sign from the water. It belongs to the Great Hammock Beach Association. This is the kind of debris that's continuing to wash up on shore, and it looks like the homes along the coast are still in danger of another surge. I just pulled out this sign. Where's it from?
Great Hammock Beach.
Yeah.
It's way down.
It's on the other side?
Out there, all the way out.
$1 million view, and today, another hefty price to pay. Sandy left an extremely expensive, uninvited guest at many homes, including the Wertheims. They already cleaned up the mud after about a foot of water seeped in.
Squeegeed it out first. Yeah, we squeegeed out and then came in with the mops.
After a close call with Irene and now a blow from Sandy, the Wertheims are still staying put.
We'll just adapt, whether it means put us on a foundation a foot higher, but there's nothing like the views from here the rest of the year.
Hours after Sandy passed through, the surf still rages in Old Saybrook, so it could take several days to fully assess the damage of these homes on the water. In Old Saybrook, I'm John Charlton, Fox, Connecticut.
Allison and Brent, while residents here in Fairfield are still waiting for electricity, pumping out basements, and searching for items swept away by Sandy, police and firefighters are now in the midst of a lengthy recovery that's expected to last much longer than the storm.
This is the worst storm in our lifetime.
Fairfield police units roll through town streets, armed to enter the neighborhoods hardest hit by Sandy.
We're still finding people in their homes.
2 days after the storm, and boat is still the only way into some neighborhoods. Today, police and fire units launched search and rescue missions into the heart of the devastation, checking homes to see if anyone was left stranded by Sandy.
From Sunday night till yesterday, they were still helping people that were trapped by the water to safer grounds.
Police officers and firefighters are racing to uncover all the dangers left behind by the superstorm, both on land and in the water. We wanted to take our Fox Connecticut cameras out onto the water in Fairfield just to document some of the dramatic damage done by Sandy, but we were later told we'd have to stay on ground because the danger in the water is still too great.
As much as the skies are blue, the storm has gone away. We haven't recovered enough to start restoration.
So for families like the Milams who lost electricity, that means home for now is a shelter.
It's colder in our house right now than it is outside. So the kids are wearing, 3 layers, and we came here just to warm up.
Sherry's 2 young children may be too young to understand the complexities of a hurricane, but they know exactly how Sandy left them feeling.
For electricity, we didn't have anything to eat. It was hard for us. It was too scary. I did not look in my closet.
Just to put into context how much debris is still in the water here in Fairfield, what you're looking at is the roof of a home. It was actually blown away from its base by the wind during Sandy, and that part of the house has just been floating up and down this creek throughout the day. It just goes to show there are still several days left worth of recovery in this town. Reporting from Fairfield, Ayana Harry, Fox, Connecticut.